Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. For over a decade now, I've been helping people recover from OCD. I can tell you that OCD recovery is possible through my experience of having full recovery from severe OCD as well as my clients. So you absolutely can recover.
Today, I wanted to talk about the biggest misconception in OCD. Um, when I talk to people, a lot of the times when we do our first session, they'll start out with, I know I'm going to have this for life. I know I can never get rid of this, but I just want to feel better. And I'm like, who told you this? Why do you think this? This is not true. You don't have to have this for life. You can completely recover. But it's this conditioning that's happening a lot of the times where people online will say, "Oh, it's chronic. I've had it for many years. It can't get better." Sometimes practitioners will say the same thing. And people don't even want to look for a way out because they're like, "Well, there's nothing I can do." See, when I was going through it, I've never had that. Nobody clipped my wings because nobody really kind of talked about it at all. So I just tried and tried and tried, and little by little, like I've talked about in all my 1,000 videos, recovered, right? So don't let anybody tell you that you can't recover. They're using a method that, because I mean, most people who are going through recovery, the way they're doing recovery work, in my opinion, is extremely um, it. I would call it not so much that it's ineffective, but I would call it foolish. Why? Because let's say you're afraid to touch a doorknob, okay? That and your compulsion is to avoid doorknobs. Well, if you go to any practitioner, they're gonna work with you on getting you to touch that doorknob, okay? In this kind of weird belief that once you touch the doorknob, your OCD will fully go away. You will never have another problem ever again. Your compulsions will never ever switch to anything else. You see what I'm saying? It's like we're trying to, I give an analogy, right? That it's like we're trying to cure an acne problem by popping this one specific pimple. It's foolish. It will never work. And then it will switch to something else and something else. And that is why you hear people online over and over again say, this is chronic. Because if you approach it this way, it will be chronic. I mean, how can it be chronic? Right? So the approach needs to change. And that's why, don't listen to what anybody says. You absolutely can fully recover. And I would say, actually, more so that not only can you recover, but your life after OCD becomes, well, I mean, by using my method, right? Becomes better than your life before OCD, because that initial sensitivity that you've had, right, that before you actually developed full-blown OCD, right, you probably had sensitivity, you reacted to things more than an average person and all of that, and we work to get rid of that. So that period that you had before OCD was still not as good as it could have been had you had the tools. So the period after OCD, right, the rest of your life after OCD is going to be way better because your approach is different. Your approach not to just OCD thoughts. You'll get past that at that point, but also your daily life stuff, right? I remember whenever there was any kind of a issue or situation, it would take me so long to get through it, right? Just not OCD stuff, but just daily life stuff. And now it's like, okay, solve it, disregard, move on. Solve it, disregard, move on. Boom, boom, boom. Like this. It becomes so much easier to live. I'm telling you firsthand. And you could see how much I do online, how much I know. We have 2 kids. I mean, it's a pretty busy household, but we're able to get all of this done, because we don't fixate, we don't waste time and all of that. I mean, it's a whole different world once you master this, honestly. And I treat it like a game. With clients, we always treat it like a game, that let's see how good you do today. in this battle, you against OCD. Who's going to get whom? Who's going to disregard or who's not going to disregard, right? So let's see. And that really, really helps to approach it from this learning experience, from the gamesmanship experience. So don't ever let anybody clip your wings and say you can't recover. The best response that I can come up to that is to say, okay, you tell me you can't recover, maybe you can't, but I can. So don't tell me what I can or cannot do because of your personal life experience. Do you know what I mean? Don't ever let anybody do that to you. I hope you find my videos helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to do one-on-one recovery program with me, all the information is on youhaveocd.com. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I will see you then.